Hey everybody, it's Amber here for Tune In Tuesday with Hope, Healing Our Past Experiences. And I just want to welcome you back again this week where we discuss the tough stuff. We answer your questions and we share stories of hope, healing from our past experiences of sexual abuse, misuse, and trauma. And I know a couple of weeks ago I had set up last week's video as talking about perspectives, and that didn't get done. And I'm not going to do that tonight. I want to go in a different direction because it's been a real life for me for the last 9 days and parallel that experience that I've had with bringing a deeper understanding of soul pain. All right, so 9 days ago, I had started getting an impacted tooth, an infected tooth on this side. It was my back tooth, and I knew I was in an amount of excruciating pain. And that started on a Monday. I called the dentist, and they said they had no openings. Well, I'm expecting, and so I know that an infection in my mouth can go to my heart or affect the baby and different things. And so they ended up getting me in on the next afternoon, and I started antibiotics. But by this time, I am already extremely miserable. I can't eat. I'm not really drinking because anything on my back, my mouth, it's very unsettling, and it just makes the pain escalate. I'm also not sleeping. That was 9 days ago. So let me just bring you along this journey. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I pretty much spent in bed and living on pain medicine, which I took more pain medicine in the last week than I've ever taken after any surgery or baby or in my life probably. I took it according to what the prescription said, but I'm saying that because this pain that I experienced, and I still have a pocket of infection down here because I had the tooth removed this morning, by the way. Look, I'm keeping it real, right? This pain caused me to consider things that I would never consider because the pain demanded my attention. I was desperate to sleep. I would cry at night because I was in such an amount of pain because the painkiller didn't last the 4 or 6 hours, maybe 30 minutes or an hour. I would get a break every so often, right? And I took that break, but it was still miserable. I lost almost 13 pounds in a week because I couldn't eat or drink. And again, not sleeping well. So it just affects you in every part of your being. And I know that you've heard me before compare that when our souls are in pain, we're going to come up with an elixir to medicate it, right? And so I had used the analogy of when you have a toothache. But I think some of you haven't really experienced the same kind of toothache, the soul pain that maybe others have, and therefore you're not as compassionate or even caring about what their hurt was. See, I had never experienced this. I mean, I've had infected teeth and had to get them removed, but nothing that lasted 9 days. And until the tooth was removed, there was no relief in that. I had to get fluids a couple times during there because I'm just so extremely dehydrated and fatigued in that. And guess what? Life continues on around you. Some of you have jobs you can't call out on, your moms, or you have other obligations that guess what? Life keeps going, and you're expected to keep going as well for some of those things that we can't just say, I need to tap out. I'm just too sick. I'm just too this, right? So let's talk about our soul pain because now that I've experienced this one hell of a week, can I say that? It was miserable, and it consumed me, and it caused me to only think about me, honestly, because I couldn't think anything beyond that. And those who know me, that's not my nature, right? And whenever there were things not giving release, I was desperate. I was looking up home remedies. I'm shoving clove in my mouth, or I'm rinsing with salt water, or trying to get in the shower, getting hot water back there. I would use a rice sock on the side of my face to the point that I burnt the inside of my ear, just wanting some kind of relief. So I hope you hear me. I was willing to try a lot of different things to try to relieve that pain. And so what does that look like when we have soul pain? Because anybody who's experienced sexual trauma, our pain, our souls are tormented with pain, and that it affects every part of our being, emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, all of those things wrapped up into one. Relationships, everything, right? What kind of relationships can we really have when we're in that much pain? How can we have healthy relationships? And so this video is for a couple of reasons. One, if you're the one in the pain and you see no light at the end of the tunnel, like you're desperate for this pain to end, because I've been there. I deal with girls all the time who feel desperate in their pain, and they just want it to end, and some of them are considering suicide as an option because they're tired of their souls being tormented in this pain that they feel like they have no control over. Like, there are ways that we can help you. We can help medicate it in healthy ways instead of just picking up these coping skills, because everybody copes with life. You've heard me already. Like, I got a list of like 21 things in the curriculum that we can cope with life, but we end up taking a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and we put it in there just hoping to have some kind of relief, right? The other part is, if you're somebody who has been judgmental or inconsiderate because you want to look across the lunchroom at somebody and judge how they're dealing with their day or dealing with their life, or maybe you're looking down the pew or across a parking lot or at a family reunion, and you want to say, I would never, and then you ... that, you would never do that to cope with life. You would never handle that way. You have no idea what brought them to that place. You may think you know, you may have assumptions of what you think you know, but I promise you, you don't really know. You've not walked in their shoes. You've not dealt with their life. You have no idea how the things that they have been through and survived have impacted them, not only in the moment that it happened, but the aftershocks, the waves that are continuing to knock them down. You don't know. So stop judging. Like, be a helper, not a hurter. I mean, you're not perpetrating them, but you're sure not helping them in your judgmental ways. So, like, understand that their soul is in pain. I know you can recognize with a tooth pain, like, and how you would want to medicate that. So I hope that that brings some compassion, some sympathy maybe into your life. And for those of you who are dealing with that soul pain, I get it. Like, I've been there. I've done it with hundreds and thousands of other ladies that I know, and guys too. Like, they've come across my journey. My husband and I have ministered to them as well. But, like, don't give up. Like, find healthy help. And that's part of what the curriculum is on the website, is like helping you to have the tools to overcome and thrive in life, not just survive in life. Because when we're in pain, guess what's that what we're in? We're just in survival mode. And sometimes we could care less if we're even going to survive, because the pain wants to overtake us. It wants to demand our attention. We can't think about anything else. It is all that we can think about, and how we want it to end and be done. And so I just really hope that you're encouraged this week. I always try to keep it real and relatable here on Tune In Tuesday. And if you have something that you want addressed, if you want a question answered, send it out to me. Email it to me. It's on the website. I always put the website on the videos every week. And so I love you guys. That's why I do what I do. I have a passion to help those who have also been hurt by sexual abuse, misuse, and trauma to overcome our past experiences, because yes, we can. See y'all next week.